All right, man. What's good, y'all? What's up? 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 We got some crazy news, man. Yo. Oh my God. All right. What's good, man? What's good? How y'all doing? Welcome back to another episode of the Jayson Estrera podcast, where we talk about basketball as accurate as possible. Now, we got some, honestly, the news this morning, it was not what I was expecting. It was not on the bingo card. It was not on the bingo card at all. And we'll get into that in just 1 second. I've been getting flooded for the last week. With content on the Memphis Grizzlies and their now returning coach. He's still new, but Tuomas Lisalo, and I think I kept spelling his fucking name wrong. I should probably adjust that. But we're gonna be talking about him, whether he's revolutionizing the game of basketball or not. So we'll get into some film breakdown. And we'll get into that in just 1 second. The Clippers need to lose their whole org. Elijah. Yo, wait, hold on, Elijah. Yo, do we gotta talk about something, bro? I feel like you've been in crash out mode. I feel like you've been in crash out mode, bro. Oh man. Here, let me go make sure I spell buddy name right, because I'm not trying. Tuomas. Honestly, that sounds way better than Thomas, bro. Doesn't Tuomas sound way better than Thomas? Tuomas Lisalo. He sound like he gonna coach y'all to a championship and he gonna steal your girl. Oh, we back. What's good, Black Canadian? Clippers did all that and still got no chip. Wait, hold on. That just reminded me. Hold on. We gotta pull this up. We gotta. Yo. Wait, hold on. Let me pull this shit up.
Carl Anthony Towns is
No, man. I don't want to hear you. Sorry, bruh. You did all that? You did all that? You did all that?
Okay.
After all that? Yeah, I better not get it with a copyright by this shit.
After all that,
You ain't got no chip. That's crazy. I ain't even mad because I know this be happening more than we think, but regardless, getting caught is insanely stupid. Duality, I'm known to be both the stoic and crash out in my friend group. You can't have it both ways, bro. You gotta pick one. You gotta pick one. At least not at the same time. Yo. That kid is funny, bro. That kid is hilarious. They really did all that to stop us from a three-peat. I'm going to stop multiverse when I can. But here, so let's watch this video. And honestly, listen, man, I really like what Pablo Torre is doing, bro. I really do. I think he's doing a phenomenal job.
Know is that
I think he's doing a phenomenal job of reporting. So let's take a look at this right here.
NBA executives were suspicious of how Steve Ballmer's Clippers landed the most valuable free agent on the market, Kawhi Leonard. That the NBA did not find that Ballmer got Kawhi by sweetening their offer. But also that in March 2025, this celebrity-endorsed, multi-billion-dollar, allegedly fraudulent tree brokerage named Aspiration, which promises to clear your conscience and your emissions, they file for bankruptcy.
To clear your conscience and your emissions is a crazy tagline for what they doing.
And this is where the clue is. What David's looking at with his glasses on is a bankruptcy filing, and there's a list of creditors. The entities to which Aspiration and all of their alleged fraudulence still owes the most money. And what I noticed is what David is noticing right now, which is that on that list of creditors, up near the top, above the Boston Red Sox, is an LLC. A tiny little company that Aspiration owes $7 million. And that LLC's name, David, is what?
KL2 Aspire LLC.
And what is it?
Yeah, they couldn't have named it like somebody else.
List there under manager or member name.
Kawhi Leonard.
Whose NBA jersey number, just to connect all of the dots here, happens to be what?
Number 2.
So then the question is, the Aspire part of KL2 Aspire LLC, right? Because, okay, he's getting all this money, millions of dollars. What I started doing was scour the internet for any mentions of Aspiration. Any appearances, tweets, quotes,
This
Instagram
guy is
posts,
comedy,
anything
bro.
by Kawhi Leonard endorsing Aspiration. And this was hard to find.
Yo, his face, he's mind blown. He is mind blown. Toronto's different. You can be both. The biggest snitch of the decade so far, by the way, LMAO. Yo, they posted his birthday last year. The Clippers used the Aspiration and it's some random account.
Which
They are
also
wilding
might seem
over
weird,
there.
right? Because every other celebrity Aspiration gave money to was well known. There was Drake offering a statement to Rolling Stone. There was Doc Rivers, Kawhi's own head coach. Robert Downey Jr. was cutting his commercial. That was the whole point of paying the A-list Avengers. But the grand total number of times that I found Kawhi Leonard ever publicly referencing Aspiration, 0 times.
Right.
Kawhi Leonard mentioned Aspiration. And so what I started doing was reaching out to dozens of former Aspiration employees.
Hey, by the way, man, if he's on your tail, you gotta watch out. Hey, any major company out there, if he sniff you, watch out.
A grand total of 7 of them ultimately agreed to interviews, which is also how I have exclusively obtained the signed and executed document.
In consideration of the rights and benefits granted to company hereunder, the company will
$28 million, bro. 28. Where's the he got the
to
voice.
7 million.
I
He got the
convinced
voiceover.
to go on tape.
And I didn't so much as to
Yo, we are in a movie right now, bro. Kawhi Leonard is in a movie.
discover it as I was told about it.
What was your reaction? What were you told?
My reaction was, what the fuck? And I was told, like, oh, these are the major contracts and the major players you really need to be aware of. And we went through a litany of, really, really top tier name contracts. And then, oh, by the way, we also have a marketing deal with Kawhi Leonard a $28 million organic marketing sponsorship deal with Kawhi, and that if I had any questions about it, essentially don't, because it was to circumvent the salary cap. LOL. There was lots of
LOL. Is he Shang-Chi or is that Evan from NBA 2K? Hey, listen, man. He Filipino like me, but he gets to look Asian. So I think when he approach people, it comes off a little different. It comes off a little different. Now, listen. I don't care about any of this. To what you said earlier, Black Canadian, I'm sure this happens a lot more often than this, right? To me, the part that I would be offended at, if you are at all, is KL2. The manager is Kawhi Leonard. You couldn't put his friend. you couldn't do even the bare minimum to hide it. You couldn't even do the bare minimum to hide it. You just put it out there. We gonna put Kawhi Leonard, KL2. They might as well put the claw. They might as well put his logo on that bitch. Like, that to me is the part that's mind blowing, right? And I think that's the part that almost comes off offensive when you're dealing with these billionaires, where it's like, y'all really think we that stupid? Y'all really think Pablo Torre is that dumb that he can't connect the dots, especially when you name everything after the people that are involved? Oh man, that's so funny. The jargon is crazy. Exclusively obtained. It's to help the salary cap. LOL is insane. Pookie, what's good? Derpy, what's good? If college players were paid under the table, of course the pros were. LMAO. Yeah, it's just like the way they went about this. Listen, I don't care. Because at the end of the day, the salary cap in the NBA, all it does is it handcuffs the billionaires, like the real billionaires, the ones that could lose $100 million out their pocket, right? That's what the salary cap does. Because if they didn't have it, Steve Ballmer would just have the all-star team. Because the difference between a regular billionaire that has a team versus a billionaire that loves basketball and has a team is they're willing to spend that money. So the salary cap, all it does is it tries its best to even things out and level things out. That's why we have these second aprons and third aprons and whatever fucking else other kind of apron they have. But realistically, that's what it's there for. And so you gotta think these billionaires, who I'm sure their money is legit, you know, I'm sure their money is legit. They know ways to get around things. So I'm sure it happens all the time. It's the end of the world. Oh, see, we can't even. That's crazy. Yo, that's crazy. Oh man, they coming. Yeah, you gotta pay for that. But hey, maybe because there's new companies in play. They're just trying to clean some of this up, right? But it's interesting. Hey, it makes a lot more sense why Kawhi decided to go to Toronto. The funny thing was Toronto was trying to do the same thing, but they were just saying it out loud. We gonna give you a house. You can eat anywhere for free. They just didn't say we gonna give you $28 million. I feel like Steve Ballmer the type to lead with that. Hey, yeah, fuck the contract. Hey, check this out. I got you. Oh man, it's just funny that they got his name on it and everything. They didn't even try. Yo, whose car? What the fuck? Oh. All right, but yeah, I think that's the funniest part. It's like, yeah, y'all stupid. That's how it comes off. That's how it feels. That they just think everybody dumb, and yeah, that's the part to me is just like, wow, y'all didn't even try to hide it. Kawhi and Dine was way more than $7 million a year. Restaurants in Toronto are expensive, and a free mansion. Yeah, but the thing is, he's probably getting a bunch of that anyway. I mean, I don't know how true this was, but Jeff Teague had said earlier that this dude was literally playing for the Clippers and living in San Diego. So I think he got a lot. You know, he got a lot of what he needed and what he asked for, plus $28 million. That's how it's coming off. That's how it's coming off right now. And speaking of the let's see this. Hold on. Here. Now, speaking of his former dynamic duo.
Bro, this shit crazy, bro.
Hey, you the president, dog.
Why is Cal?
President.
Black whips back to back to back. I ain't seen no shit like this. I'm about to say y'all.
You never. Oh yeah, let's take a selfie.
Yo, Cation free, peace driver.
So
Buddy got a cane in the back.
From Philly?
Hell nah.
What?
I'm from Cali.
You from Cali?
I'm from Cali.
What you in Philly for?
Cation free. Nigga, I play here.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Wait, I thought you was from Philly.
Nah.
I thought you had history in Philly.
Nah.
That's
You look like because
comedy, bro.
you look like somebody who plays from Philly.
I look like a Philly.
That's comedy. What you in Philly for? I play. Yo, Paul George just cannot catch a win, bro. This guy, he got paid and he's been catching L's ever since, bro. Ever since he literally took the bag. He took the bag. And ever since he took that bag, L after L after L got injured. And the injury he had was crazy. Yo, where is this? Yo, this, like, the fact that this how you got injured. and then the young rook, and then the rookie come in, outplay all of you guys, then you don't play the whole year. You got to turn the podcast off. It's just been L after L after L. Hey man. Hey, at least you can only go up from here, right? If you Paul George, I'm pretty sure it can't go lower than this. Y'all didn't make the playoffs. Y'all weren't even competitive. Literally anything would be better than last year. So I guess that's something to look forward to. Allegedly they're healthy. I mean, history says otherwise, but we'll see. That's a good question for me because I wanted to know too. Speed don't give a fuck. Hey, that's why I appreciate him, man. He just really himself, dog. Like, for all this shit, I mean, you know, some of this shit I don't get, but I think it's funny. Like, genuinely, I think it's funny. So, but prayers up to Paul George, man. He's he hopefully this year is better than last year, cause Jesus. But like, tell me not, right? It can't get worse. It for sure can get worse. It can't get worse, bro. But like, that's how the season started. He literally took the bag. Not only did he get injured, but the picture was crazy. It's one thing to get injured, cause like the first time he got injured, right, in the Olympics, like he got a lot of props for that. The way it went out, the way he got injured this time just looked nuts. It just looked nuts, bro. And then Buddy just took off. Let's see right here. Now, I really did want to talk about this. I've been dying to talk about this. I've been dying to talk about this because it was like last week. I was getting flooded, and I mean flooded with content about the Memphis Grizzlies and their head coach, Tuomas Lisalo. I can't get over his name, y'all. His name is fire. Tell me not. His name is fire. Tuomas Lisalo. That name is hard, bro. I can't even lie to you. That name is hard. I'm in a trolling mood because I just keep saying it in my head. Tuomas Lisalo. But you know, a lot has been made about their offense this year and how it's changing the game of basketball, right? And that's you know, that's a lot. I think that's a big title to put on somebody first and foremost. And I'll pull up a video that I think does a really great job of highlighting his success in Eurocup in Europe, that I think has led the Warriors to really trust him and his vision. So let's start off right here, because I think this is probably a good place to start off at. Let me see. All right, let's take a look at this.
How you guys played? I think we played really well. You know, we did the things that we need to do. They're running an unconventional offense these days, and so to see that for the first time took a little getting used to. But I thought our coaching staff did a great job of preparing us for it. They came right out the gate. I was just telling CD, they came right out the gate. It was like, yo, what they're doing is weird. And so immediately for us,
Tuomas Lisalo.
you're expecting unexpected. Like, in the NBA, most rotations and patterns are pretty similar. What they're doing is like, I haven't seen it. And so I thought we did a great job of adjusting to that and still sticking to our defensive principles and the identity that we've created for ourselves. But we made some quick adjustments. I thought Stack was great on the adjustments. We made some quick adjustments during that game to make sure the game went in our favor. And I thought we did a great job executing against their top blocks. They're trying to force everything down to the bigs. I thought we did a great job of taking care of those. And like I said, also defending their unconventional offense.
What was so unconventional about their offense? On defense, what you said, they looked like they were top blocking stuff. What was so weird about their offense?
Like if one guy drives right, the whole thing moves right. Like if you're in the slot and you drive right and there's a corner man, he cutting and like kind of giving you all that space. You know, if you drive middle, and the whole team is rotating. And, you know, it's one thing to, like, move and replace yourself. But no matter what it is, no matter who it is, no matter the personalities, everybody's rotating. And, it's just something a little different. It makes the typical help patterns a little different.
So, and this is important to note, right? This is important to note that the Warriors won this game, right? It's important to note that the Warriors won this game, and the Memphis Grizzlies, what was it? 0-4. They got 4-0'd, right? They got 4-0'd. And Tuomas Lisalo, who was the 2024 Eurocup champ, Eurocup coach of the year, was the coach of a historic offense. And this guy does a really good job of breaking his some of his success down. Let's take a look at this.
Even more impressive is what he did in Eurocup in that season. He won 21 games out of 22, dominated the playoffs, won the Coach of the Competition award, and orchestrated the statistically best offense ever seen in basketball. 127.1 was Paris's offensive rating in Eurocup, something not even NBA teams have ever even came close to. The Memphis Grizzlies just couldn't miss the opportunity to give him a contract as their main assistant coach. Players stay on the court for short stints in Isolo's in the arc. The statistically...
Yeah, Dre was low as fuck, right? Dre was low as fuck.
Better shot, but that leaves Jackson open from behind the arc. The second aspect I want to analyze is how effective the transitions are in Isolo's teams, and this is correlated to one of the most revolutionary aspects of his coaching career: how he manages the rotations. His players stay on the court for short stints, and they're asked to play at full speed so they can outrun the opponents, rest shortly after, and get back on the floor soon. If we translate this concept in numbers, you can see how 13 Paris players averaged at least 9 minutes per game last season, with the Eurocup MVP TJ Shorts, who played less than 26 minutes each game.
Tuomas Lisalo. So this gives you an idea as to Tuomas Lisalo's offensive concept, right? And the two big things are this rotating offense, right, where regardless of who, regardless of when, if someone drives to the right or is moving to the right, the entire team rotates to the right. Right. And I saw some people in the comments talking about, because this guy does a great job of breaking down the individual parts of this offense, replacing the empty slots, cutting baseline, like all of those things individually are not new concepts in basketball, right? However, the idea where the entire team is moving in this rotation and they don't utilize pick and rolls a whole lot, which is why, if you guys remember this, and this is a Bleacher Report article from May 29, 2025, but John Morant had reportedly complained about the Grizzlies offense before Jenkins' firing, which is ironic because this offense is not Taylor Jenkins' offense, right? This offense is Tuomas Lisalo's offense, and he became the head coach and is now the head coach moving forward. Where was the where is this? Morant complained about Jenkins' system that took the ball out of his hands and removes the screens he likes to use as a ball handler to make plays. NBA insider Mark Stein provided more context, writing, "There have certainly been rumbles circulating that Morant wants Memphis running way more pick and roll than it does, that he does not vibe with the Grizzlies' new motion-based offense. But those schemes were not conceived by Jenkins. They were schematic alterations mandated by the front office. And it's the offensive scheme that Tuomas Lisalo is implementing. So I think before we get to the video, I wanted to start right here. Let me see. All right, let's take a look at the numbers really quick for the Memphis Grizzlies over this entire season. So they were 11th in wins with 48. Where are they? 11th in win percentage. Second in points. Second in field goals made. Second in field goals attempted. 8th in percentage. Where are they in 3-point made? 11th in 3-point made. 13th in 3-point made. 11th in percentage. First in free throw made, and second in attempt. Unfortunately, they are 12th in percentage, and they also did really good on the offensive rebounds and the defensive rebounds, although their assist was 8th. It's not bad at all, obviously, but 8th, and then they are towards the bottom of the league in turnovers, averaging 15.7 a game. So let's see. There. All right, let me go sift through this really quickly so I don't play a fucking hour of I think this is a pretty good example to start off with right here. So Scottie Pippen Jr. driving right. Cuts down baseline.
Start to rebuild that.
Clark is going right.
Confidence.
He's in the corner, so Aldama obviously has to move. Jaren Jackson also moving to the right. Everyone going to the right. And you see Steph is trying to communicate, not even paying attention to this, because I think communicating in this is probably one of the biggest keys.
Make it tough.
Rotations aren't the same. You know, typically a guy here will hold. If they do drive, this guy doesn't typically drive behind them right away, especially in the modern NBA. And then you have another person crashing down over here. Typically guys will just kind of move along the 3-point line if they are going to rotate.
To rebuild that.
But everyone is moving.
Aldama to get back to you. He's cheating off. Learned a lesson there. Santi Aldama.
It's a miss, but it's a good shot. It's a miss, but it's a good shot. And that just that gives you an idea of their concept of everyone moving left. Let's see. Let's find another example of this. It's funny because I feel like I was going through their turnovers in this game as well. And it seemed as if every time they went away from this concept is when they were turning the ball over. And what worries me is this concept doesn't take into account the business of basketball. And I know some fans hate talking about that. But that is a part of it. Right? You're managing egos, and let's call it what it is. A lot of times those egos, yeah, competition and how good I am at basketball is a part of it. But especially nowadays is how much I'm getting paid. And having to manage all that, and if you have a star in Ja Morant that's been unhappy, and granted maybe because of his some of what's happened in the past, maybe they're more inclined to part ways with him. But if it was another star in that place, I don't see the coach having that over the star. Let's take a look at this right here. So Marcus Smart in isolation on the left wing, drives to the right.
That's some really nice early NBA moments. Is he still
a stagnant offense, but you see everyone is slowly shifting to the right. Now, I think this is probably a little late, and the adjustment that you started seeing, right? Here's the adjustment that the Memphis Grizzlies started doing towards the end of the year, because this was in November, so this was earlier in the year. Zach Edey is not a shooter, so having him come all the way out is just, it makes him pointless and useless. So all it does is it allows the low man to be the help on anyone. So what they started doing is, Zero, you got to get out, right? When you see Marcus Smart making this play, you have to get out so Seven could fill corner, Bane could fill, and you have to get out over here essentially, because Zach Edey is just gonna float between the baseline. Between the box over here. So that was really honestly a smart change to make, and it really shows a coach that has an ability to adapt. But you can see here, late on it, everyone's kind of just watching, and this is kind of what happens in the game.
Smart scoop shot, can't get it. Edey keeps it alive, takes it away, back up and banks it in.
Right, so I do think that the one thing I really like about this offense is I think we see a lot of one-on-one high pick and roll where I'm going to get a screen, corner man is going to stay because we got a shooter over there. The only real cutter is weak side baseline if he's going to do a baseline cut. We're basically playing a two-man game, and everyone else is reacting to that. And oftentimes in most games, in most teams, guys aren't reacting. They're just ball watching. And so I think this is great because it forces movement. Right? It forces movement out of players that aren't involved, and in turn it involves guys that otherwise wouldn't be. Now the issue is when you have someone like a Ja Morant who wants to play from the top of the key. Let's try to find a random Grizzlies game. Let's see. Let's try to find a random Grizzlies game. Schedule. Where's their last year? Let's see. Upcoming. United. Where can I go to the different years? Let's see. How about us find a... Let's find a random Grizzlies game. Let's see. April. Oh, this was the playoffs already. Let's see. That's probably not a great... July 2025. No. What are we doing? All right, let's pull up a good game for them. Grizzlies Jazz. When is that? March 25. Let's see. See how different this looks. This is still without and this is, mind you, this is still without Ja Morant, and they put up 140 points. Let's take a look at this. I think this is a good example of, obviously it's the initial play, but I think this is a good example of allowing your player to still have space. I think really what this comes down to is how efficient can you be, Ja Morant, right? You're going to get the same amount of touches, you're going to get the same amount of shots, but can you make them in fewer dribbles and be efficient?
Because he's usually starting the offense. That's good to see.
Inside.
That's good to see from Jaren Jackson Jr., right? You want to see him getting downhill and attacking. And, you know, in that scenario, I think everyone kind of understood what was going on. What the fuck? We don't want to see Taylor Jenkins just vibing like that. Let's see. They're playing much more traditional basketball right over here. Let's take a look at this. Bane comes off the pick to dribble handoff. I mean, 4 jerseys. I mean, 4 fucking jerseys is just absurd, bro. Like 4 jerseys is absurd. He got 2 options. He 2 options.
A lot more consistently.
That was a tough shot. A little hezzy. You saw that for a moment.
It's just some shit defense. Let's see. And I think this is you know, the team has kind of over the course of the year has, you know, kind of had to adjust because of complaints from a Ja Morant. And here's the reality, right? Here's the thing. And I think this is a twofold, right? This is a two-parter. If you're Ja Morant, you got to watch this offense and figure out how you can be successful. How can you manipulate this offense so that you can still get shots that you like? right? And the reality is, obviously, this isn't the entire game, right? This is not the entire game.
Post center in today's NBA.
Right now, everyone's running left except for Jaren Jackson Jr. He, in this situation, by their offensive standards, should have been moving left because now it creates spacing up top.
But he's got the
right
athleticism. Nice.
But, you know, Luke Kennard did refill that corner, and maybe they just understand that because he's a shooter.
Pass from Kennard. LaRavia. Back up. Marcus Smart.
But do you see that? You have two guys running out.
Back up.
That's crazy. And obviously you have Jaren Jackson Jr. diving
Smart
for the offensive rebound.
3-pointers, good. Kyle Anderson also in now for Golden State. Jackson against Looney. Left-handed, can't get it. LaRavia.
Now, I think this is the other part in this too is if you're Tuomas Lisalo, you got to be able to adjust. Right? You got to be able to read the room and adjust. Where you got to, it's a give and take. You got to make the star happy. And I think in turn, that star will implement your offense. And I think it takes, you know, I don't know what type of relationship that they have, but I think if they sat down and said and really spoke about their offense, and I think this is the other part too, with all of these trainers that are doing skill development, at the highest level, those pros, I'm sure a majority of their conversations have nothing to do with moves and have everything to do with rotations, spacing. What are we going to do in this situation? What are we going to do in that situation? Right? What plays are we going to try to get into when we're down 3? What plays are we going to try to get into when we're up 3? Right? I don't know where to go when Steph Curry is doing X, Y, and Z. I would imagine those are the conversations that are happening. And I think if you're the Grizzlies and if you're the coach and you want to, Ja Morant is an MVP level type of player. Right? And if you want to win, he needs to be a part of that. And I think that this idea that you could have 9 players with a minimum of 9 minutes. Players are only playing 25 minutes a game. In theory, that sounds nice. In theory, that sounds nice. But in actuality, in the NBA, when there's an entire business behind it, it just can't work like that. And then when you take into account the way stars can get certain calls and certain things in certain situations, like I talk all the time, whenever there's a technical foul or a flagrant foul, watch what Luka Doncic and watch what Nikola Jokic do. They run to the other side of the floor and immediately get a foul call. They're not even looking for a shot. Right? Those little things are things that your star could do for you that no other player on your team could do. Right? So I think it's a give and take. And obviously they adjusted towards the end of the year. And I think, you know, if this guy is really a genius the way that they say he is, he has been taking the entire summer to figure out how to better implement his offense. Because like I said, if you're smart, then you would understand that. Like this, for example. You can't do this every time down But you also cannot take this away.
Is to chase him now leads to an easy cut. Everybody eats for the Warriors. 11 assists already. Nice spin move.
Right? You know, the same thing goes for Ja Morant, and you know, hopefully he comes back strong from his injury. But I do think that you can't only play that way. And as you can see, you know, the Warriors were able to adjust to it. And I think a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, which we saw when they 4-0'd them, counter these guys very well. The way that they played defense. And I think it's all, you know, so we'll see what happens with the Memphis Grizzlies this year. Is this guy revolutionizing basketball? I think they said the same thing about Mike D'Antoni. Didn't turn into a championship. So, you know, it really comes down to, I think, whether he can adjust, because that was the thing that Mike D'Antoni couldn't do. Right? Time and again, you know, when he was on the Knicks, his inability to adjust, right? His inability to give. And we'll see, because I think this coach, it's a balancing act of you got to stand 10 toes, but you also got to appease to your star players. So we'll see what happens this coming year. We'll see what happens. Let's see. In my opinion, I think Dillon Brooks was making some of their offensive struggles. He wasn't there anymore. He last year, because the coach won. I think that has nothing to do with at least with this new offense that they have. Not a huge part, but I think he helped start things up or get rhythm. I mean, they were second in the league in points, Elijah. I don't know if you saw that earlier, but they were second in the league in points. So, I mean, I don't know how much struggles they got, you know, with players in and out the lineup, Ja Morant in and out the lineup. Ja Morant was unhappy with this offense, and they still managed, what was it? I think the 8th or the 11th most wins in all of the NBA, the second ranked offense in all of the NBA in the regular season. So I don't know if offensive struggles is how I would categorize that, right? You got to think second in offense, and that was his first year. Second here. Let me pull it up. So you can see. Here you go. Second in points, regular season 2024-25. Second in points, second in field goals made, second in field goals attempted. 8th in field goal percentage. Now you got to think, if their percentage is up even 2% to like 49, you're looking at a good 123, 124 points per game for the year, in my opinion. You know, 11th in field goal and 3-point made, 13th in attempted. Right? So they're 11th in percentage. So offensively, they were great. Offensive rebounding, defensive rebounding. I think that's the other thing as well, too, right? If, you know, guys are rotating over, there's always guys in position to rebound the basketball. And again, we'll see. We'll see how they fare this year. I think there's a healthy bit of adjustment. Plus, it also worked, right? I want to give him that credit, right? It also worked. And we'll see how the rest of the league adjusts, because now they've had an entire year plus a summer to watch and break down this team. Let's take a look at some of the. Let me take a look at some of the turnovers as well. To watch and break down this team. So I think that, if I'm being honest, if I'm being completely honest, Zach Edey really is a big problem that they have.
Zach Edey.
Right? Because everyone could be rotating. You know exactly where Zach Edey is going to be at all times. And I think having one person that you don't have to worry about makes it a little bit easier to track the other four.
Back in the game.
Right? Especially when you have, you know, guys that are communicating. He should have moved already. If we're being honest right here, he should have been moved, or he should have cleared out. But obviously he can't shoot. Right? If you're to follow this, right? He's driving. Zach Edey should be clearing out. Everyone is going right. Desmond Bane now gets to open up because this guy's not over here. So he gets to go right. He gets to go right. He gets to go right. In the idea is, if he were to go out and then kind of essentially run behind Bane, this would open this up. And now you're forcing Draymond Green to either defend the layup up top, or you have a Jaren Jackson Jr. here waiting for a dump down. It puts Podziemski in a spot where now is he gonna fill in is he gonna fill in, or is he gonna help the three? So you see the amount of problems that this offense creates, but having one guy be stationary can fuck it all up. Right? Because this doesn't happen. So now they're just fucking, now they're like, what the fuck? Now they're like, what the hell? Right? Because look, Draymond is essentially going towards the middle. Jaren Jackson Jr., because Bane is driving right, so he's probably going to try to get to the right side. If you're Jaren Jackson Jr., you're trying to get to this left dunker spot. As Draymond is floating over here. So if anything, you could either get the shot here, or you could pop back out for the three, but that's not what happens.
Bane back in the lineup tonight. Bad pass.
You
Jackson
get a
Davis
turnover instead. So I think that's an issue that they're gonna have to figure out. I'm also a big proponent of you gotta be aware enough to run different offenses when you have certain players on the floor, right? So boom, and clearly they're trying stuff here. So they're like, all right, well, he's clogging up the paint over here, right? All right, let's try to bring him all the way out for a high pick and roll to try to create some sort of spacing.
with the third best record in the NBA.
I think personally you probably should have inverted this. Because now you have four guys on the strong side of the ball. You have a Jaren Jackson Jr. over here. Draymond can get out to that and contest.
2.
Yeah, that just... and this is like a timing thing too, right? Like,
record in the NBA.
Zach Edey, you got to wait.
Yeah.
Right? You got to play this.
Record in the
boom.
Best record in the
set a good solid pick and give it time, right? Because if he would have delayed it, Marcus Smart is getting downhill a little bit. He already picks him up. Now, instead, Zach Edey lets him play level with the ball and have Zach Edey. So, you know, Zach Edey, obviously, he's a rookie in the NBA. There's a lot of little nuances that he has to learn and understand. But if he would have slowed it down, I think that would have helped. I also think Marcus Smart probably should have inverted this pick and roll. Get to the right side.
The third.
Jaren Jackson Jr., everyone
Best
rotate, right? If he would have gone right, everyone would have just rotated. He's going right. Jaren Jackson is going over here. He can go over here. Desmond Bane would be refilling this spot. So again, we're getting a little nerdy with this, but this we're getting a little nerdy, but I genuinely think this is a majority of these conversations, right? That's why I kind of hate some of these trainers that are all about shot placement, shot and maybe they're not talking about NBA players necessarily, right? Because it's just bad turnover after bad turnover. Oh man. Not again. Alrighty. Hopefully y'all like that breakdown of the Memphis Grizzlies offense. We'll see what happens in this coming year. Let's go take a peek at Reddit real quick. See if there's any good conversations going on Reddit. Wow, this guy has something on the Kawhi situation. Let's take a read at this. I love it. Jesus. Yo, what the fuck? I'm not a lawyer. All right, so throw everything you just said out the fucking window, I guess, brother. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I'm not reading all that right now, bro. Sorry.
Run, nigga, run!
Bro, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Michael Jordan said, Tyrone Lue says Michael Jordan would average 45 in today's NBA.
I've heard a lot of people say, in today's game, in the game, the way it's being played and the way it's being officiated today, Jordan at his apex, how many points would he average?
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, man. 45?
You bull jobbing, T. Lou?
What you mean? You can't touch nobody. It's a foul. I mean, you got the best player in the world. You know what I'm saying? You got the best player in the world.
Ever. 45, T. Lou.
What, he averaged 36 one year?
He averaged 37.
37?
Yeah.
So, yeah, add 8 to that.
Yourself a season, man. I didn't know what to expect out of that, bro. I didn't know what to expect.
Because every time you get touched, it's 2 free throws.
Right.
You know, so, I mean, like, the zone stuff could be a difference. And,
right.
You know, like back then with illegal defense. But, yeah, I mean, I don't see like it wouldn't be a year he wouldn't average 45.
Nobody will average 45. That's why they don't do it in their era. I mean, he was having 45 of their 90 points, though. I mean, he was having 37 of their 90. I'm probably the wrong one to ask about this because, to me, Michael Jordan is him. Well, I mean, everyone talks about how much tougher it was to score. To score.
Summarize.
Let's see. People talk about how tough it was. I think like you just got to think. he averaged 37 points. And granted, right, a lot of things gotta line up for you to get that. But he averaged 37 points in a league that was damn near not even having 100. So you got to think if he can get more shots up, potentially more free throws. The only person I can say would average 45 ever is Harden, maybe. Have you ever seen the year MJ averaged 37? Have you ever seen clips of that? He didn't even look human. But you're talking about a league that has more offense.
Wayfair presents.
Let's see. This guy don't even look like a real person, bro. This guy don't even look real.
Unbelievable. Martin down the left side. Jordan around Grant to the circle. 15-footer. It's a brand new ball into the lane against Larry Nance. Grant pass into Jordan. Put it up on the rim and in.
This guy is not.
Jordan coming off the screen hits his first shot of the game. The Cavaliers, and they certainly have spread it out. Jordan over Harper hits.
I think, you know, for me too.
Leads him.
I think this right here. I think a lot of people, you know, when it comes to Michael Jordan, like they talk about him going one-on-one. I think that would be you know, maybe 45 is a stretch, but maybe he could get to 40. And it's because I think, especially if he's on a team with someone who could pass and is pretty solid, his off the ball movement with his athleticism and quickness, you know, being able to jump, being able to catch and shoot on the move, I think those things would, you know, could potentially help him. You know, average that much, but let's take a look at this
report on the Clippers, Steve Ballmer, and Kawhi Leonard.
Hello, Dan. We got to stop meeting like this. It's always something when we get together. You may recall how in 2019, the NBA investigated the signing of Kawhi Leonard by the Clippers. This was the Uncle Dennis story, him asking for all these sweeteners, these side deals. This was the Lakers, the Raptors, very mad. Lots of teams very mad. NBA investigates, says this is a cardinal sin, salary cap circumvention, but they find nothing. Today, we have given something, I dare say, to anybody who cares about this stuff. And the stuff here is kind of wild. This is a story that started because of a company called Aspiration, which no one really remembers, in fairness. But they had signed some of the most famous people in the world to be endorsers. Leonardo DiCaprio, Drake, Robert Downey Jr., Cindy Crawford, Cindy Crawford's daughter. All people who endorsed this climate change company that planted trees to zero out your carbon footprint, like good guys, only for those same good guys to have since been embroiled in what has been concurrent Department of Justice and SEC investigations that have resulted in guilty pleas by one of the co-founders of the company, a prominent Democratic politician and donor named Joe Sandberg, who happens to have also been...
Yo, this guy is well-researched. Jesus, don't get on his bad side.
...a buddy of Steve Ballmer. And Steve Ballmer, in this story, we establish and report using over 3,000 documents and 7 sources from inside the company, put in $50 million of his own money into Aspiration. Very long windup. I apologize for taking so long. Here's the punchline. The endorsement deal that was the biggest that Aspiration signed, given all those A-list Avengers, happened to be Kawhi Leonard. $28 million, more than 4 times the rest of the celebrity roster combined. And the kicker, you might argue, is that he didn't do anything. It was a no-show job, did nothing, wasn't obligated to do anything.
NBA have anything to say yet?
Not yet. Not yet. I should say Steve Ballmer and the Clippers, when we asked them for comment, they said that this was provably false, that they denied it. They did not know at the time that we had over 3,000 pages of documents and 7 sources. I look forward to them proving the falsehoods that they allege. I can tell you, though, from the NBA perspective, what I've been told this morning is that it's been a bit of panic over there. I'm told that they did not know about this deal between Steve Ballmer, or at the very least, between Aspiration and Kawhi Leonard, with the influence of...
Sheesh. Sheesh. Goddamn. Well, GG's, brother. GG's. Man's is giving us a PowerPoint breakdown. Hey, yo, Elijah, forever remind me on my journey up on this ascension, right? Never get on this dude's bad side. Yo, buddy said, I'll see you in court to the Clippers. Hey, Pablo Torre, like, you just gave Kawhi Leonard an extra 28 mil. Y'all just built an arena. We could settle out of court. You could try that. We could settle out of court. Hey, you giving people money, give me cash. That's what I would do. I come out with this story. Hey, I'll shut the fuck up. Hey, wire that. Hey, what's the company called? Put me on that. Yeah. Put me on that shit. What the hell? What the fuck, man? Mad shit going on. What happened when you tried? Missing for emotional damage. Nikola Topic, the next great passer. I keep hearing about this dude too. I mean, excuse me, I'm suing for emotional damage. I'm weak. Wait, see, it's if you don't pay the kids at the lemonade stand the right way, this I might know about it. Yeah, no. Wait, I mean, this is cool. This is cool, and honestly, I think it's a great pass because it opens us up. But this pass is, wow, this is a phenomenal pass. To take his time understanding where the big is. Instead of just passing it right away, because fuck, where is this dog? Because if he just passed it right away, it's a regular rotation, but takes this guy with him, creates for a wide open shot. That's tough. You see that shit? Oh, that's cold. That's cold. I can't even lie. That's cold. That was fire. That's fire. Wait, hold on. Let's listen to this. Wait, they're not translating it? Anyone speak Bosnian in here? Never. Nah, is this guy capping? Bosnia head coach. During a timeout, you guys are ball watching on rebounds. Who are you waiting for to jump and get it? My dad that passed away? Nah, there's no way he said that, Chad. There's no way. Chat, there is no way that's what he said, bro. I'm not buying it. It is unknown if Ballmer was aware of the employment agreement, dog.
I don't know. I didn't read it, so I don't know how reliable it is. I don't have no knowledge of it. I just said I have no knowledge of it. People make up stories every day.
Yeah, that 28 mil hit for sure. You can't even. Yo, pandemic. Yo, we came full circle. We started here. Look at where we are, bro. Look at where we are. Dog, what potato ass? Like, what?
The Clippers right now have no answers for the Nuggets. Leonard for three. Beverly kicks it out.
They've gotten a number of second shots.
All right, so if this was the Grizzlies,
Foul.
right? He's driving left. Everyone should be rotating left. He could technically dive, and Paul George could go left right here. It would be a slot cut right here while everyone's rotating left. And honestly, yo, this coach might be a genius, no bullshit. Because think about this right here. He's driving left, right? If Pat Bev is filling the corner, Kawhi is filling the left slot, Morris is driving is slot cutting, and Paul George is now refilling the slot. Morris would have probably had a layup right here. Or if not, Paul George would have had a wide open three right over here, and then Pat Bev could then refill the right corner. Yo, this guy might be a genius. People get too fixated and looks and having to fit. Like, I have seen a surprising amount of discourse for guys like that, but never in Isaiah Hardenstein. What do you mean?
They've gotten a number of second shots, though.
And so we got this bullshit.
George, way off. It's the
pandemic P is crazy. Hey man, we gonna watch Tuomas, man. This guy might be a genius. As a Bosnian speaker, I can confirm that's exactly what he said. Hey man, I might be on this guy's case, man. He might actually have the key, bro.
And I'm not, and in no way, listen, I've known Steve Ballmer throughout the years. I know a lot of people within the Clippers organization. I think they're first class. I got a
AKA that check cleared.
A lot of love for them. I got a lot of personal relationships.
Oh, I got a lot of checks from them
within that organization. I've known them for years. I believe I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I want to put that out on Front Street. And Steve Ballmer is one of my favorite owners in the league.
Yeah, that check cleared for sure.
I think that he's a good man. But that doesn't mean this doesn't warrant an investigation. You're absolutely right. I'm not sitting there and saying otherwise, okay? Because the facts are the facts, and the truth is the truth, whatever it may be. And there's no question that there's enough speculation out there for this to be looked into. But let's also understand one of the biggest reasons it needs to be looked into is because of who Kawhi Leonard has been. This is a man that basically held the Clippers hostage. Magic Johnson is running the Los Angeles Lakers, okay?
He's trying to save face. I like it. I mean, what much can you say? That's just good basketball. Like, I don't know why we got to break this down for pros. That cut for Morris should be a given. You know, but that's what I'm saying too. I think it's, maybe it's not so much revolutionary. The NBA's kind of gotten away from these off the basketball plays, right? I think that's really what it's become. If you're not on the basketball, you're more of a spacer now. And essentially the cutters are the bigs that are setting the picks. Like that's what the game has gotten into, unless you're an Aaron Gordon who's a lob threat from the dunker spot. The game has really shifted, and I think, if anyone can benefit from Tuomas Lisalo's style of play, it's the way you can make these role players more effective and put them in a position to be a threat versus standing there and watching the basketball. But I do think that it's a balance, right? Because you gotta let Ja Morant get his isolations. You gotta let Ja Morant get his pick and rolls. Like you have to allow these star players be great in what they do well. And if you're Ja Morant, if I were him, I'd be studying how to excel in this offense, right? Where can I stand, where I can cut, where I like, where can I stand where I could get a pass and go like that. I think that should be his focus. I'm not saying he shouldn't ask for more pick and rolls or whatnot. I think the people that believe he shouldn't ask for that are brain dead. You know, you as a player also know what makes you successful, but his growth, if he could figure out a way to be more effective off the basketball, and catch the ball and attack, I think that would go a long way. Leader in points, 31.3 Eurobasket, shooting only 40% from the field and 27% from downtown. We need a Kevin Love meme for the Clippers situation. Oh, man. Cade and Paolo will have a breakout season 2025-2026. Cade already had a breakout season, and you're late on Paolo. I was there a year ago. Tell him, chat. Tell him, hey, Elijah, tell him. We was there a year ago, bro. I don't know what the fuck he on. Oh, let's see this.
And once again, they're one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. Lillard hits the shot and he's fouled. Here's the question after the all.
Like, I totally understand. You know,
All-Star break.
Trying to get the other players involved, but like you also like a guy that could drop 50. Like, what are we doing, man?
Are you going to see rust, or are you going to see relaxed and rested players? Well, that's his Zealy. He doesn't shoot well. Lillard goes to the right hand. Now, occasionally, All-Star break. Are you going to see rust, or are you going to see relaxed and rested players? Well, that's his
dog. What do you even do in
Zealy?
Like Iguodala is already he's already sliding down, right? Like, as he was looking away, he's sliding down, and it's still too late.
He doesn't.
Like, he just hit the shit out of that gap, and Draymond
shoot well.
Got no chance.
Lillard goes to the right hand. Now, occasionally he's hot, but you'd rather have him out there shooting. Ed Davis gives the pick to Lillard. How did he get that?
Going up on your bigs. What do you even do?
Blazers. Harkless to Lillard from way downtown. Back to him, so he rolled instead of usually he pops. 2 for 1 time for Portland. Lillard up.
How's that not a foul?
An under 3, hit another. No foul to give for the Warriors here. Lillard.
Jesus.
What a first quarter. Can he put a cap on?
You could see the step back coming.
Foul to give.
Can we slow this down? This is beautiful, man. This is beautiful. Paolo been him since day one. We were dead ass, bro. Dead ass. What do they call that? Punch step. Switch into the tween. Body. I mean, like, this is just such a tough shot. His feet aren't even squared. He got to fully rotate. That's so much core and upper body strength. That's just tough, dog. That's tough.
Score every. What a pass. Plumlee to Lillard. But Curry is getting picked.
I think this is what Damian Lillard just never progressed to, right? His off the ball. You know, he's been good at it in stretches, but consistently.
Curry will score every time. What a pass.
That's why they weren't super successful.
To Lillard. But Curry is, he's a magician at getting that shot away. Lillard trying to do the same. He hits a 3. Dots once again. With the windmill. Go, go, go. Lillard gets past Barnes. Bang.
Bro, what the fuck?
He hits a 3.
All right, let's be honest.
Dots once again.
Because if you Draymond here, right? If you Draymond here, You're like, there is just absolutely no way. He goes behind the back.
Go.
I mean, he's just going so fast in the offense. There's 18 seconds on the clock.
Oh, Lillard gets past Barnes, banks it in. Back on offense.
Shit you can
No
do.
doubt about that. Lillard for 3.
This guy's. Who is it that don't like him? Is it you that's not a big fan of him, Elijah? I'm a lot more zen.
Hit that hoe, no cap, she ain't nothing. I'm pop my shit like baby, cause this outfit 3600. I fall in love like so many kills, the bitch be scared.
He just got that 250 M's, bro. Oh man, I don't think we got anything else to talk about for today, man. I'm gonna save. We're gonna talk about stat padding on Friday, whether our legends, our great ones were padding stats back in the day. Was Wilt Chamberlain goaltending his own teammate shots so he can get a rebound in the basket? Were they padding assists for Magic Johnson? So we're gonna talk all about that on Friday. But hey man, I'm glad to be back. Thank you guys for sticking around and watching. Elijah, you are the fucking GOAT. Black Canadian, you are the GOAT. What else? Pookie was here, was good. Derpy. Man, I appreciate everybody. Before I get out of here, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All that good stuff. It really helps the channel out. But I'll be back on Friday, y'all. Thank y'all so much. You have a great rest of y'all day, man. I'll see y'all later. Have a good one.